16 to big, but now it's on to the big boys. Fur and Fallen grace the stage in Rio.
Yeah, and as so often falls on their shoulders to be the standard bearer for Brazilian Counter-Strike, but man, this is the toughest mountain that Brazil's had to climb all day against Vitality, the ESL Pro League champions just a couple weeks back. And with one of the best players in the world, ZywOo, in the roster, Imperial's got their work cut out for them. It's ZywOo and Spinks to defend at the B bomb site. Fur, Fallen, and the rest of Imperial working their way up Banana.
Collective to try and take B. Smoke for Fallen. He's setting that with Vinny as well right now. CT and Coffins, that's the standard play, and then Fallen will add his Molotov toward the new boxes, blocked by Spinks. This will give him a chance to walk in. ZywOo's already starting. We know how hot he's been lately, and the dualies for him will find two. Spinks fades off, having lost his teammate, doesn't want to overcommit and give up the site, but the bomb being secured by Vinny.
Yeah, ZywOo's done his job. Now you just kind of back away, wait for the reinforcements to arrive and go for that kind of a retake. What a shot from Magis. One bullet, all that's necessary. Vinny's location is compromised and eliminated, and Fallen's got no chance.
Vitality are going to be a tough opponent if you're Imperial right now. Remember, Vitality nearly claimed a Legends spot. They had to go into that three-way shootout that Heroic ended up winning both best of threes in to take that single spot from Group B at the European Road to Rio. So they nearly didn't even have to be playing in this portion and therefore come in as one of the top-seeded teams in doing so.
Good retake. We're gonna put Imperial down 0-1. To start out Inferno. They do buy on the back of the plant. AK-47, 3 Galils, Tech 9 on Fallen. He's got utility as well, but not much of it to set them up throughout the round.
ZywOo waiting with the MP9 at top of middle. Wants to try and farm up its cash, obviously. Get toward his customary AWP as soon as possible, but it's Bolts that now has the task of trying to hold down B, and he does so with the Galil. So the early buy based on the bomb plant, unsurprising for Imperials. Need out. Vinny's going to take a bit of damage from that. Dupree gets the boost. Vinny dropped.
Yeah, good kill. Break up the stack. ZywOo's going to shift into the A bomb site. Dupree going to wrap around towards Library to keep his eye on Rap side. Fur with a potential challenge. He's got an AK-47. Apex is here now as well in Arches. And man, Vitality's going to remain aggressive. Make sure they're always keeping track of this Imperial T side. Good pair of kills, and middle is denied. There's the swing. Good shot from Bolts. He's down low in a 1v2, but he's got Apex at low HP. He's tucked himself in a graveyard, and that's a nice, easy kill for Apex down the stretch. 2-0.
So they avoid the second round T-sided buy, which can often be so powerful, but we saw that they went immediately onto 3 M4s as a result of that. Magisk, my man, leave those chickens alone. Unless you're carving them up for a Brazilian barbecue, but we've had enough of that so far today, I think, Jason.
No. Keep those chips on green. We want more. We want it all.
Well, we'll see if Imperial can put a stop to it. Flash down middle. ZywOo trying to fight at range with an MP9. Why not? You just love him for that stuff, don't you?
He's just like, I know you got no armor. I've got an SMG. I want to build up some money. They did sustain some losses in the previous round, so it'd be quite nice to get these SMGs to sing, and Spinks is doing just that. So is ZywOo. Beautiful double kill from both of the SMGs for the bonus money. And Fallen is the last one left. This is going to be a 3-0 start for Vitality.
And ZywOo has money enough to go to the AWP should he elect to do so. He can even just toss the MP9 over towards Spinks if they don't want to reinvest too heavily as a result of that. So they'll chat about it for a moment. They haven't elected what to do just yet, but it is going to be the AKs. All the rifles brought out for Imperial to try and get on the board.
Vitality still haven't bought deep into it. Okay, someone drops Spinks. He picks it up a little bit late. Picks up his utility and armor as well. Round number 4. There's that deeper smoke in middle as well. Vinny's going to be challenging on Inferno, and we used to have a big conversation around map specialists over the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Vinny's nickname is Vinferno.
We'll see if he can get that done today. Fallen was certainly not afraid of going to it in previous days of in-game leading, and obviously FNX was part of that core, as was Fur, and FNX the coach behind them now. The last team to qualify for the Rio Major. And the last of the Brazilians to play, but maybe the first to find a win if they can somehow get it done against Vitality.
That would be incredible. I mean, think about how unlikely it would have been for all three Brazilian teams leading up to this to be winless, and then for Imperial to find this kind of an upset, this level of an upset. No one would be able to predict it. 4-on-4, but still two defenders at the speed bomb site. Apex is here with ZywOo.
Good trade-off from Fallen. They'll let Bolts go first. Keep in mind, he was part of the Luminosity gang at the start of it as well. He was one of the originals. He and Steel. So in some ways, there's 4 members of the original Brazilian attempt to try and break through to the international scene. Chelo, he's taken down Magisk again, wrapping over toward the arch side. Fur's going to follow that back and see if he can open up the site, wrapping from CT side, but this is difficult.
Dupree's got to keep his eyes on the smoke. It's actually okay. Yeah, he's got it.
I thought he was going to get spotted. Fur put his crosshair there, but didn't get anything from it. And Dupree will close it. Fallen falls 4-0.
A quick and efficient 4-0.
Oh, where's the crowd?
Yeah.
Oh, he's already taunting the Brazilians. Yeah, there they are. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to get inside the crowd's head, too.
I like it. I'm a huge fan of it. Go for it, Apex. You already know the crowd's going to be against you. You might as well build upon it. You might as well just accept it and play with it and play with that knowledge. Magisk is a little bit lucky here. He actually kind of overextends with that rotation, a little bit over-eager, but still recovers in time. 4-0, and a timeout called by Imperial. An early conversation, an early chat to calm things down before the action resumes.
The other aspect of this is if all 4 Brazilian teams go 0-1, okay, we can say they lose their openers. There's a chance they'll be drawn against each other, and you're guaranteed someone's going 0-2 today.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
That's very brutal.
It's so, I mean, I suppose the positive side is someone's going to win a map, but that's not the point. You don't want, you would love if they all could have at least been 1-1 to start off the day.
Yeah, it depends on how you want to look at it, right? If you want to be the glass half full or half empty kind of guy.
I remember when NA used to do that. Oh, at least we're going to win something if we're playing each other.
Guaranteed 1 win here for NA. And SA, as it were, here in Rio. So, armor, upgraded pistols. Fallen's got the hero AK-47 for the team. Oh, and he's got a double kill. All right, we'll give him that. What more can he find? 26 HP, but he wanted to pick up the pressure. Realizes it was a bad idea, preserves the lead.
Swap it. I know you've got head armor on other teammates. You've already found 2 kills with it, 26 HP. Give that off to someone.
He's probably like, nah, I got the hot hand. I got the hot hand with those kinds of kills.
There is confidence to be had for that. Bolts a little bit too slow to check the sandbags. Wanted to get toward that M4, but Apex knew what they were up to and went back to guard it, and therefore finds a kill. God, Gabriel, to try and give them a chance to open this up. ZywOo is alone, but he's in the pit, and the pit is so hard to deal with falling down. So now they can pick up that AK and return the favor, but ZywOo's not going to let them. He finds 3. It's Vinny finally getting the shot in return, but he's in a 1-on-2, and not a lot of room to work with because they're already approaching behind, and Spinks can push straight through this smoke. He is surrounded, and he doesn't know it yet. Even if he isolates the first 1-on-1, Apex is on the flank.
I like this gameplay from Apex so far. Fearless at Banana in a 3-on-5 to find that first kill for his team. And Fearless as well on this flank coming through and just being convincing. That's a brilliant lineup for Fallen. He's blind. A lot of luck going his way. But man, it stings when you can't capitalize on that situation. Heroics from ZywOo, and this is what it's like to have one of the best players in the world on your team. One of the most consistent players in recent memory as well. He's constantly logging incredible performances. Good recovery from Vitality, up 5-0 now. Taking some body blows to the economy, but still plenty of cash to work with. ZywOo, first time with AWP in hand, same for Fallen on the other side.
Oh, slow to respond from ZywOo, who's normally not someone you want to give a shot like that to, but it's forced off the angle. Bolts with a bit of damage and then throws a nade back in that direction. Will chunk Spinks down. Apex took quite a bit from that as well. Chelo. That's exactly my point about ZywOo.
I was going to say, yeah, you're only going to have one shot at that opportunity, like literally one shot. One
Calm
bullet
down,
fire.
Eminem. You almost went there.
I almost did. Good kill from Magisk on top of the balcony. Smoke clears. Dupree's going to add another one. The final, final warrior being at every single major that Counter-Strike has had. Dupree Showing what kind of his quality of a player.
And the first to cross the $2 million mark in prize money as well in CSGO. So his longevity is so impressive. And the interesting thing is entry fragger, who often get a harsh name because if things aren't working and you're not getting the entries, you're the first to get blamed. Yeah. He and Apex are two of the most enduring players in the entire game, and they both have that role at times.
Yeah, and Apex, I mean, has had to really kind of adapt his playstyle and obviously complete swap of his role from that hardcore pure entry fragger now into an in-game leader and making a name for himself as an in-game leader as well. An impressive transition into the role.
Yeah, Vitality's had a great start with this. I shouldn't say great start with this overall core, but since bringing Spinks in, they've looked really solid and threatening. I know Pro League, they couldn't really close it out. They couldn't really, but they were there. They were in it all the way until the end. So.
Oh, that's a mistake, a miscue. Almost burns him alive. Apex with a kill. That's Vinny forced out by missing the smoke. And Spinks is going to build on top of it. 6-0 in a 5-on-3.
I've confused myself, Jason, because we were at Pro League and the RMR was right after.
Yep.
I meant the RMR they couldn't close out. Obviously, they won Pro League. We stayed in the same hotel in the same position, okay? It's a lot for me to handle.
Yeah, it blended together.
It did. Because, yeah, obviously what I meant was didn't get the Legends spot to close that out. But, yeah, they obviously won Season 16 of Pro League. So Apex takes down Fallen. Chelo and Fur in a 5-on-2, and it's going to be a 7-0 scoreline. Have we seen 7-1 in Brazil yet today?
I don't think we've seen it yet.
I mean,
today.
we avoided that one, Jason, but we did just have the German organization come back to beat Brazil.
Sure did.
In Rio.
Well, maybe Vitality can give them one. Maybe they'll just maybe they'll let them have the next round just to get that little meme scoreline going.
Apex would like that, wouldn't he?
3 players at the B-bomb site to defend, 2 players to attack, 30 seconds on the clock. And as unlikely as it seems, I wonder if Chelo and Fur are going to actually go for this. Maybe just say, look, we have to start limiting this money. We can't let them have a flawless round like this and build up even more bank. And I mean, it's not a matter of letting them. Vitality's just going to take it. 5 players survive, nice and clean. No issues yet for Vitality. There's 11 kills total on the Imperial side in these first 7 rounds of play.
Yeah, not too impressive. In fact, one of the only double kills they got was from Fallen at the banana position. Good control of banana that time from Vitality. So a timeout called from Imperial. We'll see what FNX can bring into this. Obviously going up against one of the most iconic coaches and successful coaches in Counter-Strike history on the other side in Zonic. Now, you remember the meme video? They wanted him for the hugs.
Yeah,
they said first they have to win a major.
First they have to win a major. So after the major, a lot of hugs would be going around if they're able to take the trophy here in Rio.
Our B stream going on simultaneously when both streams are done, the opening 4 matches.
It's EGIHC taking place over there at the moment.
Nice, okay. Yeah, when both streams have finished their matches, then we'll do the redraw and figure out who plays this evening in the 0-1 and 1-0 games. Dupree wants to get the shot, and damage dealt, but he's being overwhelmed in terms of firepower rather than weaponry. It's Chelo that gets the kill back, but he still managed to get 2, and that gives the advantage firmly to Vitality once again. Yeah,
impressive control in that spray to find the second kill. Chelo really wanted that AK-47. He's going to pay the ultimate price for it. However, the defense did shift out of the B bomb site, which should pass over an easy plant to Vinny. Bolts is already going to grab some standing, and he needs to have a huge performance here if they want to hold off this retake. Spinks is waiting patiently, content to just keep control of Ruins before his teammates arrive, and they're actually quite a bit of distance away. This is a lot of time into this bomb by the time they arrive, but still overwhelming superiority for Vitality. Spinks grabs that one. Vinny left in a 1v4. Smoke is going to cover him off. He's going to have to get aggressive, going to have to toss up a prayer. It would have to be the hand of God, and it's not going to happen.
So all straightforward for Vitality. Much challenge against them yet. You were right. Chelo was so desperate. Look, just want the gun. Not going to happen. Taken down. And 9Z, 00 Nation We didn't see them get much going. Furia, again, that's the one that really blows.
They got a lot
minds.
going, and then it all disappeared. It all went away. That was real shocking. Imperial still yet to get it going.
Vinny trying to get some control. You said it, Inferno. He's got bolts with him. Nade's gonna go deep from Spinks, but he's just around the corner before they can capitalize on that. They would have heard that pin being pulled, but they don't get a clean line of sight. They have got one player further over than they would have expected, and Vinny's gonna get one shot off board. Apex doesn't repeat. Not right away, so the smoke is able to isolate. And as he fires in, Fallen that'll cross with the bomb. Vinny doesn't dare. Oh, the nade is going to bounce the other direction. So Vinny's safe on that one. Fallen not. He's taken down to 30, and a second one from Apex will put him completely on the ground. They had the arsenal of nades sitting there waiting. He threw both of those.
Yeah, the stockpile. That's brutal. Fallen catches both of them.
Fern in awkward position right now. Really needs to be watching toward Coffins. He knows that smoke's got a timer. Forced back. Best chance yet to capitalize, and they're still down a man with Vinny on 20. Incendiary that'll bounce backwards, cover off toward Emo. Fur wanted to be sneaky. He knew he had to get away from his position. He wanted to go in toward the smoke, and CT instead. Magist gets Vinny out of this, and Chelo needs a line up.
Oh,
he does hit the first. He does hit the first. Do they have the time? Second as well. Vinny's got them off the bomb. They don't have time to defuse. Finally, Imperial on the board.
Well, they needed it. They needed a little bit of life. I don't even think he would have had time if he sticks that defuse after Chelo finds the opening kill. And yeah, there's the stockpile. This is the result of it. But at the end of the day, Imperial managed to pull one out. A tough retake and a good find from Chelo on a Magist. They had to get on that bomb immediately. Beautiful work, but it's just the first. Many more have to come after this because there is a bank built up on Vitality that is intimidating. They've got so much cash, so many more buys.
Shot from Bolt, successful, nearly followed that. He had the lineup onto Spinks, but the utility too much, and
look at
accompanying that damage, the M4 too accurate. You're absolutely right, though. Mid is...
Well, the defense for mid is actually going to be in Boiler for Magisk. So there's some space for them to work with Chelo and Fur.
Yeah, but the ZywOo is still going to take that off back into a very, very powerful position, and if somehow they can create a crossfire off of this and be dynamic, Fur's going to walk into this. Tough position, back turn, they never knew it. ZywOo wants more of this. He's come back around. He wants to fight this. Good find from Chelo. The man who won them their only round thus far is going to make this another 3-on-3 situation.
But I don't think Imperial really has a great picture of what's happening on the map to be able to make a call. 3-on-3, they're going to be happy about that. They hit the pause button. They let Vitality's defense shift and start to second guess. Start to let the information of their positions on the map be obscured. Looking for any information plays, any pushes. ZywOo alone today with an AWP, and he's going to be the one that's called upon to stand tall. 3-on-1 at this bomb site. Dupree and Spinks are parked at B. This is all on ZywOo.
You can taunt him all you want. He's better than that. ZywOo's gonna go right back into the face of the crowd with that. A no-scope on Fallen as well. Vinny with the trade. But finds himself a man down after the AWP went off inside of the site. Back turned inside of the smoke, trying to play this. He'll go up on top of the box. They're both coming from the same position though. Vinny's got to be so careful on this. He still doesn't know it. Only one M4 fired. He looks for Dupree. They backed off. That's going to create space, but now they know where he is. He finds the first, not the second. Dupree on the immediate trade.
What a performance from ZywOo. What a fast flick up towards the balcony. The follow-up no-scope as well. That's incredible. To make that a possible retake, to make that an advantaged retake for Vitality. 9-1. Look at how fast that is.
Oh.
Chelo had no chance.
That's foolish. Fallen knows all too well what it's like to hit a shot like that, doesn't he?
I've hit those in back in my day.
Back on the receiving end, unfortunately, this time for him, so they couldn't convert. A chance to go back-to-back on rounds as well.
Thumbs up to the crowd. They don't like that. They don't like that one bit.
And I actually saw some ZywOo, I think it was a scrolling cell phone sign, so there are some ZywOo fans here, but don't expect to get given that when you're up against the Brazilian heroes that are on this stage.
You know, one thing Brazil's always been good for, even in rooting against a team, always recognizing greatness, and ZywOo the embodiment of that.
That's why they love you so much here, Jason.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I didn't expect a compliment there. That warms my heart.
Someone has to.
Someone does. 8-round lead for Vitality. Looking like they're going to cruise out to a strong first half. Aggression down middle. Apex wants the challenge, taps away, and Vinny jiggles into it. ZywOo steps up next with the AWP. And that aggression dissipates as Apex and dupreeh rotate back to the B bomb site to shore up defense there, bring an extra body to make sure there's strength. They're going to re-aggress.
Oh, Bolts. Oh, I was about to say he's looked away at the wrong time. He actually almost got a lineup when he turned back around, but it's not going to amount to anything in the end other than his life being lost and a two-man deficit that they have to overcome. They do have HP in their favor, but Magisk positioning on the stairs at the graveyard, and Collins the last alive and the last, therefore, to fall.
Yeah, now they're just getting picked apart. Bolts, you're right, had the lineup, I think with an AK-47, that might have been a double. With the Galil, not enough stopping power to string two of them together. And Imperial's just getting, I don't know, decimated. Pick an adjective. 9-1, or excuse me, 10-1. And a timeout again, the third one called by Imperial, trying to put enough rounds on the board with which they can fight moving forward. All this talk leading into the major about having the addition of the crowd to the challenger stage and the buff that might provide the Brazilian teams. And I think we all started coming to a realization, like around media day, talking to some of the Brazilian, the inkling was always there. We always know it can be an issue, but talking to them, you could tell the pressure and the importance and the gravitas of having their first major.
Oh, it's easy to
rattled
overhype
some cages. Yeah.
You're overhype yourself as well, right? Certainly with these underdog situations, but if Furia goes in too hype, as we saw, they get a great start, and then all of a sudden someone pricks the balloon with a pin, that bursts pretty quickly, and it can be a huge problem. So we'll see if they can recover. Mathematically speaking, someone said there's a chance that actually you could have all the 0-2 games be the Brazilian teams because they could avoid each other in the next. That would be even more unbelievable.
That'd be spicy. I'd be down for that.
Okay.
I'm all in for that.
ZywOo looking for the damage down toward alt middle as he continues to hold for March, but he'll fall away. He's going to back off. Give a bit of room to Imperial to work with, but they've already lost Bolts. So it doesn't really matter so much because they have the strength and the defensive positions covered off pretty comfortably. Fur, 1 kill. Vinny, 1 kill. Bolts, Chelo, and Fallen with 4 apiece, and that's it. 14 kills total after 11 rounds.
This is most of the utility as well. Counter utility from Vitality stalled out the initial take of brackets. What a double kill from Magisk. Oh, make it 3. Make it everything. Fallen goes next, and not a chance for Imperial.
And the problem is, it's not even like one player is dismantling Imperials right now.
No, it's everyone.
Look at the scoreboard, 13, 13, 10, 13, 10.
This Vitality team is very deep, and they found a way, as you mentioned, with the Sphinx edition looking good right out of the gate, but they're finding a way to come into this major peaking at a very good moment.
Oh no, they're a threat. They're a threat in this tournament, absolutely. FaZe hasn't looked perfect lately. Na'Vi certainly, exactly, haven't looked amazing either. You've got Vitality at the right time, looking really hot.
ZywOo on the hunt for his first major as well.
Yeah. One of the final greats, aside from Nico, not to have one, and obviously Nico not going to get one this time by.
Apex is almost getting lazy with his taunts. He just feels like, I don't have to do it anymore. Y'all know what's happening. I don't need to say a word. 10-round lead. Deep Molotov from ZywOo wants the peek. It's crouched underneath from Vinny. And with these pistols, you can afford to take a few more risks, be a little bit more mobile and aggressive, but will they check dupreeh? The answer is no. Double kill for dupreeh. 5-7 is out as well, trying to keep them at bay. Support has arrived. He will go down, but ZywOo cleans it up. make sure it doesn't go from bad to worse. And Vinny just barely gets away, but not for long from Apex.
Bolts caught out by Spinks. They're not going to make mistakes like that. Vitality's looking very sharp right now. Imperial not able to get a foot into this game at all. Dupree too easy. Aggro pulled and he just sits inside of the corner, and then ZywOo comes out to trade off of him. It's all calculated right now.
2 rounds remaining, and even 3 doesn't seem like enough breathing room for Imperial in the second half.
I think the 4th team I would put into the equation as a potential threat in this event. You got FaZe, Na'Vi, I would put Vitality up there, and then I would look at Cloud9.
Yeah?
I think so.
There might be one more team, you know.
Oh, you think Liquid, huh?
North American team.
Yeah, is that what you're thinking?
You can throw their hat in the ring.
Yeah. No, they've got this guy called Naf who's really good, so makes perfect sense.
Yep, fair play. Vinny's gonna lead the way up Banana. Top fragger for Imperial with 7 kills.
ZywOo, good shot on Vinny. Turns away from the flashes, knew exactly when to take the aggression back toward Banana. Fallen left with 53 HP.
And ZywOo's starting to show presence everywhere on the map. We've seen him peeking down mid, we've seen him on ramp side, we've seen him in Banana, we've seen him in halls. He's been a number of different positions, and Imperial have not been able to get a good read on where that AWP is located. You're exactly right, this spread from Vitality is insane. ZywOo with 15. Spinks is the lowest fragger on the team with 11. And all Imperial have left is a B set piece and execute onto the B bomb site. But there's counter utility. Apex still has a Molotov to drop as well.
Shots out. Spinks, Apex collecting for 2. Crossfire far too powerful and no responses. Not even any damage yet. Finally there is. They'll get a kill from Bolts, but he's taken down immediately from ZywOo. 13-1. This is a very one-sided scale right now.
Yeah, and I think this is, I don't know, I don't want to say it's like the most logical outcome, but we always knew this was going to be a very tough affair, and I think a lot of people would have predicted that this was going to be pretty one-sided, maybe not to this degree. I think it's also the shock of just the way that this day has began and panned out for the Brazilian teams on this stage in front of the crowd. Yep. This is just the cherry on top of that crap Sunday.
Well, there's your references, Jason. I know it's a reference. I'm trying to find out what it was. Couldn't remember. Doesn't matter. Fur and Vinny finally get, an opening. Chelo's going to add to it. Imperial maybe getting a second round, before the half, as Chelo even finds Magisket range. It's all on to Spinks. Bomb's going to enter. Fallen will put that down.
Well, 2 is what Imperial will walk away with at the end of the first half. It's going to be 13-2 in the favor of Vitality. And again, it's not even enough to even begin to have the conversation and lean towards any positives that Imperial could make this comeback happen. But at least it's something, at least it breaks up the momentum, at least there's something happy to talk about during the break for Imperial, that you got that round on the board. We're going to see how it goes after the break. A long road ahead for Imperial, or a short one, we'll see.
Hey Future Pros, Sometimes in CS you just want to get aggressive and take the fight straight to the enemy. I'll use this mid push from Astralis to demonstrate a reasonably good approach to get up in the faces of your foes on Inferno. It really helps if you're keeping track of the T's economy, as doing this against a fully bought T side will have varying results. This strategy requires 3 Future Pros, 2 HEs and an AWP. Future Pro number 1. You'll be the player who pushes deep into mid. As you make your way to mid, get your HE out and lob it down mid. This makes sure that if anyone does face you, then they will already have taken some damage. Make sure to push along the right side of the wall so you don't get killed by a T holding steps. Tuck yourself into this corner and listen for any noise or calls from your teammates. When Future Pro 3 has made some kind of contact towards T steps, this is your cue to peek out and hopefully get a free kill. After this contact, keep your head on a swivel, as multiple Ts could be about to flood out ult mid or T steps. Future Pro number 2. You will mostly be holding ult mid, but first throw this HE just as Future Pro 1 does. Once you have thrown your HE, it is possible for Ts to be close to you already from ult mid, so be ready for a fight. You can cycle between holding mid and ult mid depending on how the Ts are pushing. Be confident in your aim and quickly process any information you receive. Future Pro number 3, you'll be holding T steps from the top of mid with an AWP. Your role is to relay information to your team and act as support so your fellow Future Pros can't be singled out. And that's it. Going aggressive as CT is always a risk, but if you and your lads are feeling dominant, this can be a great way to control the flow of a match. It could completely fail as well, and if it does, I don't want to hear anything in the comments. Get some DM in instead and keep improving.
Definitely, I think the crowd is going to be a huge factor for the other newer teams, because they didn't experience this since ever, I would say, because after COVID, the LANs were just having like crowd for the playoffs, so we're gonna have like people screaming at you since the first match. It's gonna be a different energy in the game.
Careful in the smoke, guys. Careful. Go. Inside. Don't let out. Nice.
Well, the communication has been solid from Vitality. The noise canceling works extremely well based on those clips that we've seen also. But yeah, this is a bit of a trouncing right now at 13-2 in the French's favor. In some ways, they're also peaking at the right time. We talked about this major being delayed for 2 years, but now we have potentially more Brazilian teams than we would have back then.
Yeah.
The next one's in France, and Vitality's looking strong.
Yeah, that would be very cool if they're peeking heading into that one. Still, if they can carry it on. I mean, that's still a ways away. And at the moment, all eyes in Rio. All eyes on ZywOo's microphone, which seems to have fallen down, as they're going to get a little tech issue to start this second half. So hold on to your butts. We'll get into the action shortly.
I'd rather hold on to your butt, Jason.
Anytime. That's a cool mask.
The passion is never debated in Brazil. There's no question about that.
No, it's not. It certainly is not.
I'm excited for some of the fan fest stuff as well with Gulez out in the tent. I want to go out and join that, just chill.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. I still have no concept in my brain of what exactly.
I've been asking for a tent show for years, man.
Yeah, you should have got you one.
I just need to learn Portuguese, apparently.
Exactly, that's the key. Well, maybe the fortunes would be better in the second half of the day. There is going to be a little bit of an intermission once all the B stream games are done and over with. And as we mentioned a number of times throughout the day, there are 2 streams going if you're just joining us. EG and IHC was the game being played over there at the moment. Evil Geniuses nursing a narrow lead at 10-8. So if you want to tune in to that game and see how it's going, feel free to pull up a second tab. Throw it up on the second monitor, do some work, watch this game, watch that game, have a good time. All giggles for Vitality, and why not? A 13-2 lead heading into this second half. Smiles for Imperial as well. I think at a certain point, they're just like, we got to enjoy the moment, we got to enjoy the experience, enjoy the energy.
see how that works out a little bit later on today. There's some redemption in Rio for the Brazilians, because surely Fury is not going to let that happen twice. I know it's going to be so difficult to overcome, but man, oh man. The worst thing, thankfully based on seeding, it's unlikely, but if they were a matchup against outsiders, whoa.
That's what I was going to say. That the scary thing is that is a very dangerous team that's dropped down to 0-1 as well earlier from their loss to Mouse. I mean, especially if it's Furia to draw them, to have such a tough opponent in your 0-1 matchup, for such a hopeful, for the team that's, you know, likeliest to carry the banner deepest into the event for Brazil, that'd be devastating. There's some real tricky matchups that can pop up for any of these teams. But I mean, you got to just kind of hold on to the fact that you really got to kind of believe that a lot of the lack of performances or underperformances from the South American teams due to the nerves, due to the pressure in this environment of playing in front of the home crowd, and that one game beneath their belt helps them get past that. And that's about all you have to cling to at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, I would say that's true of the, you know, the 9Z, the Zero Nation.
Furia, not so much.
Furia has the opposite problem.
I made a tweet this morning that I said this feels like a playoff atmosphere, because it does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And someone, a Brazilian, responded. It was absolutely genius. Just like, well, that's probably why Furia lost this game, because it's a playoff atmosphere. They can handle the heat when it hits the playoffs.
No, and that is the difference with this major. I mean, I mentioned it. You're not getting a chance to play into this in quite the same way that you would in previous majors, especially for some of the players who have made their name during the pandemic and the online era and aren't familiar with the crowd. You normally get a group stage, and there's already the pressures of a major. You already know there's stickers in the game. There's more viewership. There's more at stake, and that's without a whole room of people screaming at you.
I was going to say, think of the teams from the Legend stage that are sitting at home practicing and boot camping and watching this and just saying like, holy shit, we got to come in cold and play in front of this.
Oh, and it's going to be way bigger for that stage as well when we get toward especially the top 8, the playoffs. It's going to be huge.
13-2. Pissed around in the second half is live after the tech issues.
The 1x bet odds almost similar to the score at this. It's 1-13. It's 13-2 for Vitality. MC and Rushley giving us our camera angles today. Not so much in a rush this round, although Spinks is speeding things up as he gets 2 kills walking around in front of Boiler. It's Apex to get Vinny down. Watch for Fallen. Good response. Can't find the second inside of the smoke. And as he oversteps the mark, it's ZywOo that will put him down. And the bomb in the hands of Magisk will be planted. It's just bolts. And as he gets toward Library.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay. I was going to say gets toward Library. They'll know where he is, but they don't even need to worry about that. He's already dead.
And, man, that's a perfect round to just show what Spinks has brought to this team. Just someone fearlessly walking up brackets, finding 2 kills. Immediate headshot. First bullet. And stays focused, clears it out, says, all right, if there's going to be some kind of a boiler or hull setup, I'm going to make sure there's not a second player in that corner. And Imperial, they just get deleted every time someone from Vitality shows up on their screen. 12-round lead, and Imperial have to buy. They have to invest into this. They have to invest every single round.
Bolts backs off of it. Deagle to work with. Nades from the damage from the nades. I'll say that in the correct order. Do a little bit to ZywOo and Dupree.
Nade's still throwing you for a loop, huh?
Ah, dude, even with, yeah, I don't want Can we, Valve, can we just remove nades for my sake, please?
Yeah, whenever Matt plays, we need to take, or Cass, we need to take nades away.
Yeah, just wait until I play the, like, that's how I'm going to lose to Team USA. I'm going to nade myself or something.
Probably.
I'll pull a Moxie and throw a decoy that blows up and kills me.
Oh, that'd be beautiful. I'm there for that. Fur's got an opening kill. Apex is taking a lot of damage from a Deagle at Coffins, and Fur peeking, jiggling at the spawn choke point. Magisk has gone down, and back to the A bomb site we go. Vinny is waiting. Fallen and Chelo doubled up on Rap side. Plenty of utility to deploy to take this safely. They might want to activate a little bit of a Hulls pop. That defensive smoke is perfectly timed to dissuade them. It seemed like Dupree was sliding into position with that MAC-10 to jump out of Hulls. That option is taken away from them. 28 seconds on the clock.
Dupree setting the smoke out in front of the Library. Spinks already peeking that direction. Gets the first. ZywOo down. We saw a similar shot from him, and he's going to follow that up. Apex falls. Damage. Spinks fallen. He'll collect it. And it's another round at least for Imperial.
All right, a little bit of positivity there for Imperial for the crowd to enjoy. Hasn't been a whole lot of it today, but good to see them still getting fired up by a good round from Imperial. Some early damage and early kill, and Fallen's able to clean things up. Good work with the scout. Headshot onto Apex and cleaning up Spinks at the end of the day. Double tag. But still a long way to go. Hero AK-47 on ZywOo. Vitality, they're not holding back. They're fully invested into this round. Upgraded pistols and armor around this AK-47. No mercy rules in Counter-Strike.
Absolutely not. Used to be even worse back in Cal days when you were expected to play out so that at the end of the year you had a plus-minus tiebreaker situation that wasn't just assumed.
Yeah, that sucked. I remember those days. Let's not go back to it.
Yeah, those were rough.
We had some of those in the early days of CSGO as well.
Yep, that is true. And if anyone doesn't know what I mean by play out, I mean you would play all 30 rounds. This could have ended potentially 27-3, for example. And when you're on the 3 side of it, it just makes it a long, frustrating,
drawn-out process.
Yeah.
I bet it'd be fun to be the guy with the drum. Double kill from Chelo.
Yeah, he's beating the drum right now. Chelo, he's going to find a third. Collecting kills in the anti-eco. Down goes Apex.
Give him
Ace
the
for
ace.
Cello. Bolts, no, he's going to steal it, soften him up. He could have backed away from it. Doesn't matter, they just want the round. Bolts will get it. It'll go 14-4. An ace would have been nice to give the fans something to cheer about considering the scoreline. We found the crowd, Apex.
Yeah, they're back, baby. Back in force. This will be around Vitality. Have to take a step back. Mostly unarmored Glocks. In fact, all unarmored Glocks. So a bit of a freebie round. See if they can get this crowd to yell themselves into exhaustion.
Yeah, some of these people might be coming to every single game over the next 2 weeks. Not gonna have any voice left.
We're coming to every single game over the next 2 weeks.
Are we? Well, that excites me, Jason. Apex is gonna take down Bolts, not before he found ZywOo, however, and the push continues as Fur will fall into line by taking out Magisk and then cover off the line towards T-spawn. They have to go back over toward the arch to try and get away from that, and Apex tagged on to 16 HP. So they know it has to be alt mid. They know they've completely shrunk the map. Fur's even gonna check to make sure no one's gonna flank him from the underpass position.
I like this from Fur.
There we go.
Just get some confidence under your belt, baby. Quad kill in the round for Fur. He's had a very quiet game so far.
One of the men who put Brazil on the map in so many ways in CSGO, though. And look, if nothing else for Imperial, I said, yes, it was tough for complexity because you couldn't imagine Rio without these guys. If nothing else, it's a celebration for Fur, FNX, and Fallen.
Yeah, the house that they helped build, essentially. This major would not be here in Rio if it weren't for the success and it weren't for the efforts of so many of these Brazilian teams and players over the years. Another quick tech pause for a mic issue, and we'll get right back into the action in just a moment.
Tons of Imperial jerseys out there. We saw it this morning. I think we arrived at 9, not even, I would say 8:30, and there was already people in line with
lined up,
Imperial
apparently they were there
jerseys
from like
on.
7 a.m.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I was
early
not
day.
even awake.
That's when my alarm was set.
Yep. I think mine was 7:10. Katowice vibes.
Yeah. Started to have a lot of very...
I'll find a McDonald's somewhere nearby.
Yeah, I'm sure it's around. They've swarmed the planet. McDonald's is everywhere. That is a beautiful sight. A wonderful sight, and mostly just a taste of what's to come. Maiden madness that is going to be building throughout this event, all the way up to the trophy moment, all the way up to the champion stage. And we're back live into the game, round 20, 14-5. The lead is cut to single digits. That's a perfect call for this defense. Set up in lane. A Halls pop can wrap around him. Vinny, blinded, has to look away.
Looks away, but they didn't spot him. Up close. Oh, he's missed the shot on ZywOo. Now he's in trouble. They're going to surround him. ZywOo goes back out. He hits it. Chelo trying to make up for the loss of that position, but they've already crossed 2 inside of the site. This is a tough position for Imperial to now find themselves in. Now is an opening kill they could have used. Bombs dropped. Chelo stepping up again.
Apex has that lurk, but Fur is so aware. He says a Halls pop requires a player in middle for utility. I know there's going to be a lurker at some point, and boy, does he read it perfectly.
Fur's looking like he's starting to come into this game. His teammates giving him a bit of space, and that's the experience. You're absolutely right to know what that situation requires. It's the bomb down. ZywOo will hold off in the pit. Spinks goes to the corner of the site instead. Retake execution starts with the incendiary that burns Spinks alive. He's low on HP. Fur and Fallen. There you go. 2 legends together will take back the site. 14-6.
Great utility, great retake, great handling of the situation. I think Vitality's a little shocked when they get out of Halls and they only have the 1 kill. I think they're kind of confused. They're like, where the hell is everyone? Where is this defense? And dropping the bomb was everything, because Dupree's route took him to Graveyard, not into the bomb site. If he had actually ran that route into the bomb site, easy plant, much easier post plant in a 4-on-4. And that's a little bit of a mistake that has dire consequences. 6 rounds now for Imperial on defense. And a timeout, a second timeout taken from Vitality to talk things over.
So life late, but still a large hole to climb out of in this game. Fallen, AWP, Vintage as he looks down toward mid. Apex has already bypassed that position though when he's gotten, in toward, nice shot. Just saw the lag and Fallen nails it. Just in toward Banana for Apex, but he's solo in that position. He goes back toward middle now to join his teammates who have lost Dupree.
We thought they were dead in the water. Still a little bit of life here from Imperial. Long path back. But as you mentioned, Fur starting to climb up that scoreboard. If you start getting some of that Vintage Fallen opping, this gap can close. There's a good shot from Fallen. Just pistols are going up against, so don't get too excited, but defense is looking strong.
Chelo again as well. He's really been resurged and has led to this resurgence, I think, in many ways right now, as it's 5 rounds in a row for Imperial.
Remember, they lost the pistol round in this second half as well. 13-2, lose the pistol, but they've come right back into it. How many more can they get? Can they challenge? Can they put some pressure on Vitality? Can they get close enough for this crowd to truly rattle Vitality?
No, I mean, considering the fate of Furia in the previous game, this could be the reverse.
Are they taunting ZywOo specifically?
Oh, they are, and they were earlier as well in that situation in the site when he hit the no-scope and silenced them quickly.
Are y'all insane? Don't do that. Don't waken the beast. Let him slumber.
It's a guy who says he doesn't care about pressure, and you're just trying to taunt him. He's probably going to love it when he upsets you. We did it last time. Remember that no-scope on Fallen? Fallen this time, though, nails Apex. Top side of Banana covered off. He's stuck at the sandbags, but does have support. The smoke goes down. That'll be his escape plan. Should he elect to use it? Right now, he's going to stick around. If he fired through the wall, whoa, there was a chance he could have had Magisk. Dupree's been spotted. Chelo wins that duel again. He's looking solid, up to 15 kills. He and Fallen leading the way right now by quite a margin. For Imperial, oh my, ZywOo had to fire through a teammate, still did it, Fur's gone.
Yeah, almost took Magic's head clean off. Yeah, Chelo has been the driving force to get Imperial going in this second half, and that's when you're seeing the life out of Fur, the life out of Fallen now. But Chelo's been a beast, and Fallen's got another second kill in the round. And Magisk has 30 seconds to consider his options.
Hey, ZywOo, I want you. Well, you got him this round. Magisk forced to save. It'll now be 6 in a row and a 14-8 scoreline. Is pressure a thing against a team like Vitality? I think, again, we always say when it hits double digits, it's possible.
Listen, they got so much experience on this team. There's certain players that won't get rattled, but I think they'll all tell you that it's going to affect you somehow. Some players rise. Oh, look at that. That is so close. That might have just ripped the nose off. That pressure applies no matter how experienced you are if there's actually a chance. Actually an opportunity for Imperial to close this gap and steal it away. We're not there yet. And I'm trying not to get carried away, but if this builds to that point, if we ever get game on, then we find out what the pressure truly means. Imperial just 6 rounds away now. Fur with the utility kill, Bolts with the utility kill. And it adds an M4 frag on top of it. And Imperial's defense looking solid. They look like they finally settled into this match.
That's exactly it, they do. It's not just that, okay, they got a few rounds, the crowd got into it. They're actually starting to read the game. They're actually starting to look for trades actively, look for kills and map control. And you could see it. You could see almost the light go off for Fur when he started playing countering angles, trying to figure out exactly where they were going to be and be one step ahead every time. You're absolutely right. They're settling into the stage, and that's where the experience of Fallen, Fur, FNX behind them, that's going to come to light. And Bolt, again, was part of that original Kaboom, Keystars, early Luminosity lineup.
Fallen and Boiler with the AWP. It's been impactful in these past few rounds. But one mistake, and it's all gone. One mistake and it disappears.
And that's the pressure of it, but you don't think about that right now. And you need Fallen to be the sergeant right now. You need him to keep you composed, tell you not to overextend, not to overcommit. But keep playing the game they are, because right now it is working. Bolts, this time toward Coffins. Not as much aggression on Banana, so a bit more of a passive stance defensively. And Fur will have to confer with Bolts and set this crossfire.
Ooh, Fur peeks first. Defensive smoke, surely that's going to be thrown out. What a kill from Dupree. Huge headshot onto Bolts. And how does Fur want to play this one? He's got to do it passively. He's got to just spam.
They're going to push him. They're going to push him. They knew it. If they knew if he wasn't boosted, then there couldn't be a rotation, because that's the obvious play. You go for the boost. Fur didn't have anyone to work with. They lost the sight too early, and as soon as he had to reload, that was an obvious push.
Oh, and Spinks is going to make sure everything is taken away. Imperial has all the money in the world, so they're going to go for this. But this backstab from Spinks is the insurance policy. This would have to be so clean to negate his position.
And that's why no one's peeking right now on Vitality. Oh, Fallen! How did he know? He turned it around. And Vamos from Vinny. He's going to rush to the site. It's ZywOo that holds. He's been baited out on one shot. Chelo holds the angle. He's being picked apart. Oh, but he hits an incredible no-scope, but he's not done there. You want ZywOo Brazil? You got him.
And that's why you don't do it. That's why you don't wake the slumbering beast. He's shut you up cold in your own house.
chelo didn't want to peek him. He knew that could happen. He knew the situation.
He was trying to bait out a second shot, running out of ammunition as well. Oh man, what a read from Fallen. This is so sick. Talk about experience. Talk about one of the all-time greats.
This is outrageous.
Yeah, ZywOo just shows him it's time for the new boys. It's time for the next generation. Your time is done.
What a retake. Fallen reads the flank. Vinny nails 2. That's done. They keep this at 14-10. The comeback is fully on.
Yeah.
And just like that, oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Do not taunt ZywOo.
No, man, he really, really showed you. I don't think we're going to hear that one for the rest of this game. It might just be one more round in it. 6 chances for Vitality to close this out. That's unbelievable. That retake was looking beautiful, was looking like true Samba CS until it's torn away. chelo, he's been so good, going to be called upon again, but great utility. Apex picks up the pace.
So a standard smoke and then Molotov covered off in the same position at the pits, but it's small pit they have to play. chelo wants out. Vinny did one. Got one to at least give him a chance to swing, but it's not enough. It's on to Fallen. 1 on 3. And the last round will haunt them because this looks like the end. Admirable effort from Imperial, but Vitality, too much. He'll go to his AWP, as you'd expect.
Yeah, the fight back, it's awesome to see, but it's one of those things that just makes you wonder if they've been able to have a little bit more room, if they've done a little bit more in the first half. Could they have actually put together a second half to challenge Vitality? Either way, outside of a small hiccup, it's dominance from Vitality. A big win in front of an aggressive crowd, and ZywOo shuts him up quickly. We're done here, back to the desk and a break, and then we'll get more Counter-Strike in front of you as soon as possible. We'll see you there.